afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you may be around the world. I wanted to just take a moment to really encourage each and every person who sees this live or who watches the video later to really find ways that you can be an answer to problems in your community, problems around the world. So I want you to just take a moment and just think about a time. Doesn't matter when it was, but just think about a time in your life when you actually had someone to do something for you unexpectedly. They helped you in some way. It doesn't matter, what it was that they did, but just think about a time and think about, how did you feel? How did it make you feel knowing that someone cared enough to do something to help you in some way? Now I want you to just imagine, how differently our world, our communities, how differently things could look in our society if we took action on meeting the needs of others. I want you to just think about that. I remember a story that I was recently told. There was a young boy, and if you're watching this and you don't mind just giving a short example of what someone may have done that was impacting for you, if it's not something that's private. But I remember hearing a story about a young boy, and this young boy was out. He was out on Halloween, and he was talking to a friend, and they were just walking and talking and having a good time. And at some point along the way, this little boy lost, track of all of the turns that they had taken, just talking and having a good time. And he didn't know how to get back home. And his friend knew that he didn't know how to get back home. And he talked to this really kind senior citizen, and the senior citizen, said to him, "Well, do you know where you live? Do you know how to get there?" And he's like, "I don't know how to get there. I know where I live, but I don't know how to get there. I took so many turns, I was talking, and I just don't remember how to get back home." And so this kind senior citizen took the boy and he dropped him off at home. And while that may seem like a small, insignificant act, it was an act that made a difference because someone cared. And this was a young child who made it home safely. This was a good ending. And this is just one story that somebody recently told me about. And I know each of you probably thought of your example. You thought of your story, something that someone did for you that was unexpected, and how that made you feel. I can think of countless examples of, people doing something for me. I can think of countless examples of helping others. I mean, I even think back when I was in the military and I had my son, and I was stationed in Germany, and I was so far away from home. And individuals who I worked with, colleagues, they pulled together and made a list. They made like a meal train of who was going to cook when, and they dropped meals off. Several, people, my commander and a few other people, came to visit me in the hospital when I was in the hospital. And it really made a big impact. And, my ex-husband was like really shocked because he was surprised that they went out of their way to bring a gift for Joseph to come and visit. And this is just an example. And so I want you to think about the example that you just thought of and how you felt. What is it that you can do with a problem that you see around you? I know there's a lot going on around the world today. And it can be easy at times as humans to just say, "Oh, I see this is going on. I don't like that this is going on." And it can become easy to highlight those things and to complain and share your thoughts. But what if we just took a moment to see what it is that we can do to solve the things that bother us, to solve the things that are going on around us? I mean, we all have gifts, we all have talents, we all have skills. There's things that we're passionate about. There's something that we're purposed to do. And we can use those gifts, we can use those talents to really make a difference And for something that might seem insignificant to you could be a world of difference to people who are around you. You know, could you volunteer at a food bank? Could you go and help a veteran? Could you see a child who needs help with their homework? Are there organizations that you can partner with? Are there people who you can partner with? But I really just want to encourage you, wherever you're watching from around the world, and I see there's 81 people who are watching live. Think about every time that someone has helped you with something and you weren't expecting it, and it made you just feel so appreciative and so grateful that God thought enough of you to touch someone else's heart to do something for you. I encourage you, if you see something that is bothering you, you see something that needs an action, do something. Find something that you can do. Partner with organizations, partner with other people who it's important to them. And I think if we did that, I think if we all did that, it would make such a big difference in our world today. I know there's a lot that's going on around the world. I have colleagues around the federal government who are impacted by the government shutdown. There are people who are not in government who are impacted by the government shutdown. What is it that you can do to help people who are experiencing different issues in life today? And what might seem insignificant can make the world of difference. So I encourage you, wherever you are, you know, whatever you see that you have a skill, a talent, a resource, whatever there's something that you can do, take action on it. Instead of just talking about what you don't like, take action and do something. If there's something that's leaving you unsettled, you're unsettled for a reason. So let's all make a commitment to be the change that we want to see. Let's make a commitment to make a difference in our world. Let's make a commitment to bring change in our communities and our society, in the world, in our state, in our country. If every person can make an action on things that they see, it will really reshape our world. And it'll make an impact. And so I just challenge you. I challenge you today. Use your gifts, use your skills, use your talent, use what you're passionate about, use your purpose to go find problems for other people that you can solve. And so I encourage you, be the change, solve a problem, and make a difference. And I think when we do that together, our world will look different. Thank you for everybody who's viewed this. I encourage you to share this, and I encourage you, in addition to making an impact, and in addition to making an act that will be a change in someone else's lives, encourage those around you to do the same. Have an amazing day and a purpose-filled weekend.